Hello and welcome to this podcast. I'm Mingda.
Hello everyone, my name is Sissy.
My name is Grace.
My name is Evanna.
Today we are going to talk about a topic that's both big and close to home: wealth inequality.
Yes, when it comes to wealth inequality, people may immediately think of the super rich such as Moscow and Bezos, whose wealth numbers are followed by countless zeros, while ordinary people may not earn a fraction of them in their lifetime.
That's true. The correct situation of global wealth inequality is alarming. According to a new report by Oxfam, the richest 1% of the world's population now owns more wealth than the remaining 99% combined.
That's unbelievable, and the gap is widening. Global events such as pandemics, wars, and economic crises and exacerbating wealth inequality.
Then how should we deal with such a serious challenge?
Yes, today we turn to China from a global perspective to see how the country has lifted itself out of the poverty and not to the wealth gap in just a few years.
From reformed and opening up to targeted polite alleviation, China has embarked on a unique development path. In this process, what lessons are worth learning? What challenges do you face?
In the next programs, we will focus on economic and tax policy, real estate policy, educational equity, and employment equity issues to discuss. I hope to bring you some inspiration and thinking.
Ever thought about how tax policies actually shape your life? I know taxes are not actually the most interesting topic, but stick with me. This is about how much money stays in your pocket and whether we can actually close the wealth gap. A few years ago, China raised the individual income tax threshold from 3,500 yuan to 5,000 yuan. Sounds like just a number, right? But for a regular office worker making, say 6,000 yuan a month, that could mean paying little to not tax at all. And with special deductions for things like children's education, home loans, and elderly care, many families find themselves with a little extra money to spend each month. There's real impact. On the other hand, higher income groups still pay more tax. There's a way to balance the system so that the wealthy contribute more while the lower income groups get some breathing room. And now cutting some corporate tax may sound like something that only benefits big business. But in China, a lot of these tax breaks are aimed at small and macro companies. Some of them even pay as little as 2.5% in corporate income tax. So why does this matter? Because when small business can survive, they create jobs, and that helps everyone. More jobs, more people earning, and ultimately a smaller wealth gap. Just imagine a small noodle shop owner in a second-tier city. If the taxes are too high, maybe they have to cut down staff or even shut down. But with lower tax, they can afford to hire more people, keep the price fair, and still make a decent profit. So that's the kind of real world impact these policies are designed for. Of course, making money is one thing, but what about when things go wrong? One big concern for lower income groups is health care and retirement. through social security tax. The government has been increasing pension payouts and expanding medical insurance coverage. For example, rural health care reimbursement rates have gone up, making it less likely for families to fall into poverty because of medical bills. A few years ago, there was a story about a farmer in Sichuan who was diagnosed with cancer. Before this may have made his family going bankrupt, but thanks to expanded medical insurance, most of his treatment costs were covered, and he was able to recover without ruining his family's finance. That's the kind of safety net that the tax police can help build. Another huge challenge in China is the urban-rural divide. In the past, rural areas were often left behind, but now tax revenues is being funneled into rural revitalization. This includes tax exemption for agricultural business, subsidies for rural entrepreneurs, and investment in infrastructure. If you visit some village today, you will notice new roads, better schools, and even e-commerce hubs where farmers can sell their products online. A decade ago, that was almost unthinkable, But now, better infrastructure means better opportunities for people in rural areas to improve their livelihoods.
Improving the wealth gap in China from a social security perspective is a heavy task. We need to build the social security system from multiple angles and push for policy implementation. The core areas are healthcare, pensions, housing, education, equity, and employment. First, there is a big gap in health insurance benefits. Rural residents have a low reimbursement rate, and most quality medical resources are concentrated in big cities, making it hard and expensive for low-income groups to get medical. The government is increasing financial assistance for health insurance, ensuring basic medical care is affordable. There are also expanding medical assessments in rural areas to make sure people don't give up on treatment due to financial issues. Strengthening the medical skills of county hospitals can reduce the pressure on poor patients to seek treatment in big cities. Second, economic security for elderly people in rural areas is weak, and the elderly care services are not comprehensive. Increasing government investment in rural nursing homes can ensure that poor elderly people can access this service. Based on my research, developing smart elderly care like remote health assessment can help reduce the cost of elderly care in poor areas. Third, rising housing prices have become a hot topic. Rich people accumulate wealth through real wealth investment, while there is a shortage of public rental and affordable housing, making it hard for low-income groups to buy houses. By increasing the supply of affordable housing, the living pressure on low-income groups can be effectively reduced. Balanced city development and long-term housing regulation citizens can help improve the distribution of housing resources, enhance social mobility, and create a fairer housing system. First, the vocational education system in rural areas is not well developed. The government is increasing educational investment in poor areas on equal access to higher education, low acceptance rate at top universities in many countries. High tuition fees and financial pressure prevent low-income groups from continuing their studies even if they have excellent graduates. The government should increase financial support for schools in poor areas and rural areas, upgrade educational facilities, improve the income of rural teachers. For example, children's rural refreshing strategy, which has been implemented in recent years, includes special funding for rural education to help rural children access better educational resources. Also, attracting quality teachers to work in the countryside. They are also promoting remote education, encouraging companies to team up with universities. Lastly, the minimum wage is too low, making it hard for some low-income groups to maintain a basic living. Therefore, flexible workers have insufficient social security coverage. Managers should gradually raise the minimum wage standards in different regions to ensure that the working class basic living is not affected by raising price, including flexible workers like delivery workers in the basic social security system can reduce their economic risks and provide better social insurance coverage. Improving people's living requires a fair social security system that gives everyone basic opportunities to live and grow. Education should be more equal with more support for low-income families. Healthy care should be better with higher insurance coverage, lower medical costs, and improved local health centers so people can get good care nearby. Patients should be fair with higher benefits for all, better community service to help the elderly live comfortably. Housing should be more affordable with more low-cost homes and recent support for families in need. Social security should focus on real problems, making life safer, fairer, and more stable for everyone.
Now we are going to talk about an important topic of social justice, how equity in education can help China narrow the gap between rich and poor. Wealth inequality is a global problem, and education has been long considered a ticket to a better future in China. In the past year, in order to provide more children with equal access to education and cut the vicious circle of intergenerational poverty, there has been a number of policies introduced by the government. To make today's discussion more engaging, let me introduce the following true story. Li Ming was born in a poor countryside family in Western China that had a scarce financial resource. but he passed all the exam and got vocational training with the help of the government and eventually get a stable position in the technology sector. He is a living example that educational equity can be an important catalyst of the social mobility. So how is China working on education equity? How effective are the policies? Today we will explore this question. The Chinese government has taken a series of measures to narrow the gap between urban and rural education. The 9-year compulsory education policy ensures that school-age children, especially those in rural areas, are not educated by increasing investment and improving the quality of teaching. Rural students have access to top university through the rural special admission programs, which enhance social mobility. The balanced development of compulsory education policy redistributes teachers and curriculum resources to rural areas to narrow the gap in education quality. In addition, the double drop policy aims to ease academic pressure, reduce utilitarian education competition, and further promote fairness. In addition, the government has expanded distance education so that children in rural areas can access quality learning resources online, narrowing the resource gap. However, basic education is not enough in order to make low-income groups more competitive in job market. Technical skills training is a crucial element. In the new digital economy, receiving professional training in technology has become the point of revolution for changing one's typical way of life. For instance, the Chinese government has put in practice a series of vocational training courses. Rural economies and live broadcasting economy help low-income groups to start their business through the internet and increasing their economy. Such programs help not only to ensure stable employment for much more citizens than it had ever been before, but also to increase the economic strength of poor areas.
Hi everyone, today let's dive into a topic that's reshaping China's social landscape, bridging the wealth gap through employment equity. You might know China lifted 800 million people out of poverty in 4 decades, a historic feat. But how is tackling the next challenge, ensuring fair access to opportunities in a rapidly changing economy? The answer lies at the intersection of policy and technology. First, let's set the stage. In 2021, China launched the Common Prosperity Initiative, aiming to reduce income inequalities through better job distribution and upskilling. Key to this is addressing regional disparities. For example, rural migrant workers often face barriers in cities, limited access to high-paying jobs, social welfare gaps. But here's where technology steps in. The government partnered with tech giants like Alibaba and Tencent to create platforms like Xiaojob and Zhonghua Vocational Training Network. These apps provide free skill building courses, from e-commerce to AI basics, tailored to low-income groups. Imagine a farmer in Guizhou learning live streamed sales to market local products nationwide. That's economic mobility powered by a smartphone. Traditional hiring often favors urban elites with prestigious degrees, but China's tech-driven approach is flipping the script. Take Boss Zhiping, a job matching app using AI algorithms. It prioritized skills over potentials. A 2023 study showed migrant workers using such platforms saw a 22% increase in wages compared to traditional methods. Even more groundbreaking, government's national vocational credit system. This blockchain-based program records informal work experiences, like a rural woman's year as a community caregiver, and translates them into certified skills. Suddenly, invisible, labor becomes a resume asset. COVID-19 accelerated another shift. Remote work. Platforms like Didi, China's Uber, and Meituan food delivery now offer flexible gigs with insurance plans, a safety net previously unheard of in informal sectors. But the real game changer is China's Digital Village initiative. By 2025, 5G networks will cover all rural areas. Villages in Tibet can now work as remote data analysts for Shanghai firms. Tech erases geography as a battery to opportunity. Of course, challenges remain. The 996 work culture and AI service lines in factories spike depths. Yet, the data is clear. Tech-driven employment policies have narrowed the urban-rural income gap by 12% since 2020. As we discuss global inequality solutions, China's experiment offers a provocative question. Can technology be the great equalizer, or does it risk creating new divides? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep questioning the status. Today we are not authors, we have a new identity. Imagine that we are sitting in a tea house now, and a few friends are chatting about the latest economic policies.
We want to promote equitable education and access to science and technology through policies that give low-income groups more opportunities to enter high-income industries. Data shows that vocational skills training programs have helped millions of rural youth find stable jobs.
Well, and the recent tax policy is interesting. Our company just got a tax exemption notice. Finally can boost a thing of the real life. Otherwise, this month's opportunity cost will exceed the budget. As an entrepreneur, really feel the impact of the change in tax policy. For example, the state's tax incentive for small and micro companies have reduced our operating costs a lot. With few tests, we can invest more in technological innovation and employee benefits and market inflation. In fact, a reasonable tax policy can not only help the business develop, but also create more job opportunities, increase everyone's income, and ultimately achieve common prosperity of the society.
I was a worker through the digital skills training by the government. I learned operations and now run my own online store in my hometown, which is doing well. My mom is getting older. Social volunteers come to check on her health and remind her to take care about her date. My son just started primary school this year. The government's 9-year free education policy has reduced a lot of pressure on my regarding history, my policies introduced by the country has enhanced support for the community.
At the end of the day, narrowing the gap between the rich and the poor, although it sounds a little hard, but it really affects every aspect of lives, from wages to enterprise development to rural development. It affects everything. China's policy on narrowing the gap between the rich and the poor is also worth learning from other countries.
Yes, as an entrepreneur, I hope that the policy can be established so that we can develop with confidence, create more jobs, and help more people achieve a better life.
And we hope that the policy can be closer to the crossroads, not to high taxes, more subsidies. After all, everyone wants to live a better life through their own efforts.
Well, it seems we'll have our own agendas. Anyway, that's all for today's discussion. The needs of different groups of people are different, but the ultimate goal is to achieve a fairer and more balanced society. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.